Greetings. We are in Unit 2, Module 4, Session 4. The title of today's home connection is Multiplication and Division Puzzles. It's a two-pager. Okay. First off, you start off with some math facts. 7 times what is 42? What times 6 is 18? Try to place those mentally in the appropriate spot. Correct? 5 times what is 10? I don't believe any of these, nope, none of these are stacked with the two numbers missing the product. Nope, it's missing one of the factors, okay? So you're going to have to figure out what is missing in this multiplication problem to get the product down below, okay? And I am going to let you do those on your own. So you can pause this video and work up to number 2, okay? Here in number 2, we have some fun puzzles, or at least they're fun to me. It says that there's a secret path. The starting and ending points are marked for you. You can only move one space up, down, over, or diagonally. And then you write the equations to figure out how to get to the end. So in this example, they started with 3, and they tried to figure out, well, 3, 36, no, that doesn't work, that doesn't work. 3 times 4 does get you 12, so they did that, okay? And then you start with 12, and you go, what can I do to 12? 12 times 6, 12 divided by 6, 12 divided by 2 is 6, okay? 6 times 6 is 36. 36 divided by 9 is 4, and you got to the end, okay? I'm going to lead you through this first one, but then I'm going to leave B completely up to you. So you have to divide or multiply, depending on maybe how big the number is. I think that's a huge clue. So for example, 81 is huge, and if you know your math facts, 9 times 9 is 81. So if I take 81 and I divide it by 9, so I write that down, 81. Maybe I'll zoom in just a bit. If I take 81 and I divide it by 9, my answer is 9, so that takes me over here. Okay, my next problem is going to start with a 9. Okay, 9 times 4. 9 times 4 is 9 times 4 is 36. So I can take the 9 to the 4 and the 4 to the 36. Okay, 36. Do you know your math facts? What times what is 36? 6 times 6. So 36 divided by 6 is 6. 36 divided by 6 is 6. 6 and a 7 and a 42. That makes sense, right? Take that 6 here, take it times 7. You're going to get a 42. 6 times 7 is 42, and that's how you get to the end. So there is only one path that you can take to get the answer, starting and ending with the numbers that they indicate, okay? So when you go over to here, the numbers are a lot smaller, but you don't let that fool you, because some of them are large enough to divide. Okay, start with 1, end on a 2. I'm going to let you do that one on your own. We have a division table down below. It's basically 60 divided by 6 is what? Which in this case is 10, right? Because if I divide 6, sorry, it's hard to cover that up. If I divide 6 by 6, that's a 1. Oh, I should cover up both. That's a little better. 6 divided by 6 is 1. Put the 0 back on. 10. Okay? So you're going to take a look at these numbers and try to figure out how they fit in by dividing them by 6. Now, I'd like to do one for fun, just because they look very similar. For instance, if I look at 18 and I look at 180, ooh, the only difference is a 0. How many 6s can you count to get to 18? Well, you can take 18 divided by 6 into 3 equal groups, okay? Or you could say 3 times 6 is 18. Either way. Now, if I take this fact, I cover up the 0 of 180, all I have to do is carry my answer over and add the 0 to the end. Alright? I'm going to let you finish these on your own. When you get to interesting numbers like 54, right, you're going to probably have to count some pretty large single-digit numbers to get up there, okay? So be patient with your math facts as you try to approach some of these larger numbers. Yeah, 3 times 6 is 18, but something times 6 is also 54, okay? Ryan bought 4 dozen eggs, and we know that 1 dozen, might as well write this down, is 12, right? So 4 dozen is quite a few. His recipe for cookies calls for 3 eggs in each batch. How many batches of cookies can he make with the eggs he bought? Now, we can figure out how many batches 1 dozen makes and then multiply it by 4, or I can figure out how many eggs are in 4 dozen eggs. So if 1 dozen is 12, I'm going to take 12 times 4 and get 48. 3 eggs can go in each batch. I've got a total of 48, so I'm going to take 48 and divide it by 3 to figure out how many batches I can possibly make. Will we have a remainder? I don't know. Let's figure that out. First off, let's see if we can get relatively close. 3, this is just, we're just spitballing here. If I took, let's say, 3 times 12, what do I get? 36? Yeah, it's not big enough. What if I took 3 times 15? That's 45. Ooh, closer, closer, closer. If I take 3 times 16, that's 48. Oh, there's my number right there. 3 times 16 is 48. Okay? Now, so I know that 48 eggs will make 16 batches. What's the other way that I could have done this? I could have done 1 dozen, okay? 1 dozen is 12 eggs. If there's 3 eggs in a batch, how many 3's fit in 12? So I could take 12 divided by 3 and get 4. So 1 dozen eggs makes 4 batches. Now, I have 4 batches in 1 dozen, but I have 4 dozen, so I'm going to take that 4 times 4, still get 16 batches. So both of these answers are the same. It's nice to be able to solve it 2 different ways. Now, our challenge, oh goodness gracious, extra credit to you if you can write a story problem to match this equation. 36 divided by 5 equals 7, remainder 1. Okay? So obviously you have to have 36 of something. Plus this remainder 1, which is 37. So your story problem has to talk about 37 and needing to split it up into 5 equal groups. Okay, that's a pretty big hint. But I'm going to let you, oh, excuse me, this is completely wrong. 36 is the remainder 1. Get rid of this plus 1. I'm a little tired today because 7 times 5 is 35. So the remainder 1 makes it 36. 35 plus 1 equals 36. So you have 36 of something that you're trying to split into 5 equal groups, and you end up with 7 in each group with 1 left over. Okay? Sorry about that. Brain's a little slow today. Okay, if you need help, talk to a teacher. Ask a trusted friend or grown-up who is pretty savvy at math. See if they can help you out. Have a good one.